Good to have you with us here on the South African Morning from news from overseas, where UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson has promised not to make any major policy changes before leaving. That's right, he has resigned as leader of the Conservative Party and as Prime Minister. The decision following the resignation of several cabinet members in protest against his leadership. There's been very strong global reaction to the move. Let's get some more reaction from Stephen Gruzd, SA Institute of International Affairs, joining us this morning. Hello to you, Stephen. Good to have you with us on the show. Your first initial reaction to this, surprised or not surprised?
Well, it was building up for quite a while. There have been scandal after scandal in this particular government. When Johnson survived a leadership challenge a couple of weeks ago, the rules of the Conservative Party say that that sort of no confidence vote cannot be launched in the next year. So I thought he was probably safe, but the scandals have been mounting. The resignations were coming thick and fast. Over 50 members of his government resigned, or in the government and in the civil service. And the pressure was mounting. So in the last few days, he was being urged to resign from within the party. He was seen as a liability. He didn't want to go, but eventually he said, the herd moves, and when the herd moves, these things happen, and he had to leave his post.
Yeah, well, you can say the herd moved or the herd galloped away, I suppose, depending which side of UK politics you want to sit. Partygate was one of the issues he had to deal with, so both politically and I think as far as breaking rules, that's what some people are saying is going to be his legacy. A lot of names I'm seeing, though, Stephen, being thrown around. Attorney General, Miss Braverman. We're also seeing well-known Sajid Javid coming in as well. So they're saying that it's going to be a slow handover. He's going to stay in power until someone else is chosen, but there's no shortage of choices, is there?
Yes, there's about 10 names that have been thrown into the pot. Dominic Raab, Liz Truss, the Foreign Secretary, Tom Tugendhat, Penny Mordaunt, names that may not be familiar to us, but there will be a leadership contest. At the moment, the way the rules are put out is that they have to compete, and the one with the lowest number of votes of the MPs then gets removed from the leadership race until they're just two. And then actually the decision is for the Conservative Party members, of which there are about 180,000 paid up members across the UK who vote by post. So this will take some time, and there may yet be some surprises. And there doesn't seem to be really a front runner in that pack of 10 or so contenders.
Let's talk SA and UK affairs and relations. What effect, if any, does a change in the UK Prime Minister have on us here down in South Africa?
Well, firstly, I think Cyril Ramaphosa and Boris Johnson had a pretty good working relationship. They were often meeting in the G20. Ramaphosa attended the G7 summit, especially when Johnson was the host. So they've had quite a good relationship, but really I think the effects on South Africa-UK relations, whoever comes in, will be fairly negligible. Britain considers South Africa a very important partner in Africa, and I don't see many major changes really, no matter who occupies number 10.
And let's talk about number 10 for a moment as well, because some people would say it's a bit of a poisoned chalice to be handed over as well, because you have to now undo the damage of Brexit. There's that economic issue as well, which has to be dealt with. Anyone coming in now, arguments being made, Stephen, tell me if you agree, it's going to take a couple of years to undo what happened under Boris Johnson. There's a lot of economic turmoil they're going to have to wade through.
Sure, there's the legacy of COVID, there is economic problems, the rising cost of living, absolutely. I think Brexit is a done deal. I can't see Britain going back unless there's another referendum, and that would be very unlikely under the Conservatives. So that would mean another general election, which isn't really on the cards at the moment. But yes, in the same way as I think Joe Biden has had to battle to reverse some of the policies of Donald Trump, whoever comes in after Boris Johnson will have a tall order to make sure that everything runs smoothly, and may want to overturn his initiatives.
Well, as everyone's saying bye-bye to Boris as well, I suppose his tenure as UK Prime Minister lasted longer than Neville Chamberlain, I guess, if my history is correct. It wasn't exactly a fantastic tenure and long tenure back then as well. The issue as well, though, the UK not immune to what you and I are dealing with here at home and everyone else, is inflation. Cost of living has gone up as well, but you can't really hold the Prime Minister accountable for that, or can you? I'm not really sure.
I think the voters will definitely feel that the Prime Minister could have done more. He was seen as consumed by all of these scandals and therefore had little bandwidth to devote to some of the major challenges, rising cost of living and rising inflation being one of them, in a country that's not used to inflation. I mean, we have pretty high inflation and we sort of shrug and get on with it, although it has become a major political issue in the UK.
Just before I say goodbye to you, what's the one thing that broke the camel's back? What was the one piece of straw that we had his party going, OK, enough is enough, we're out the door?
I think the resignation of senior members of the cabinet over a very short period, on the back of the party scandals, the parties that were held at Downing Street, ministers who were acting with impropriety, and MPs, but really it was some of the senior members of his cabinet saying no more that really caused the pressure on him to be untenable.
Stephen, sorry, I might make this the last question. Actually, it just occurred to me now. On the question of Brexit, if you were looking to your crystal ball, I'm kicking the tin a bit far down the road here. Could there be a change in the way Brexit is being handled now that Boris Johnson is leaving number 10?
Well, it's pretty much a done deal. The UK has formally left the European Union, and that was one of Boris Johnson's major areas of concentration in his early prime ministership. I don't see Britain rushing back. As I say, I think there'd have to be a different party in power and probably another referendum and then a long re-accession process, but I don't see it happening soon.
I see bye-bye Boris trending on Twitter over in the UK. Stephen Gruzd, always good to have you on the show, so appreciate your time. SA Institute for International Affairs joining us. We're back.